Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a dive into r/Am I the Butthole? I have double checked that my microphone is plugged in today. This is becoming too common an occurrence where I am realizing I have forgotten to plug it in, which is annoying. I've taken to blowing on the microphone because then I can see like the little bar pick it up. So I know then if it's coming through the actual microphone and not the laptop. Anyway, we're getting off topic already and we haven't even started. Yeah, if you'd like to judge some possible big old gaping bort holes with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. And of course, quick disclaimer, any opinions I give on the posts we read are just opinions, not facts, do not need to be taken as such. If you have a differing opinion, do feel free to leave it in the comments below, just make sure you're keeping it respectful. There is no need to be mean with anyone that you do not agree with. With that being said, let's get into it then, shall we? And breathe. Okay then, so this first one was posted by Naptime16. Am I the butthole for refusing to help my husband clean for guests? I run a home-based daycare for 12 hours a day. This requires a lot of cleaning all day long to keep the daycare part of the house clean, along with cooking and playing with children. So by the end of the day, I am exhausted and have very little energy to clean upstairs, which is the private part of the house that only my family and our guests use. Because of that, I don't particularly enjoy having guests over because I have to rush to get everything clean upstairs too. Whenever a friend or a family member of mine is visiting, my husband dramatically complains that I'm doing too much and that I shouldn't be rushing to clean because they're just friends. They don't care. He'll refuse to help because you're just stressing yourself out for no reason. Well, my husband announced on Friday that he was having friends over Saturday morning. I said that I had a really stressful week, so I wasn't feeling up to guests, and he insisted that it was his guests and not my problem. I can see where this is going already without even having to read ahead. Suddenly, the private space isn't clean enough, and he started trying to assign me and our kids spaces to clean. Well, he was waiting to switch the laundry. What do you mean waiting to switch the laundry? The fabulous thing about a washing machine is you put it in, you press the go-go button. Oh, you also put the detergent in, of course. And then you leave it. It's great. And you just go back to it when you're ready to go back to it and you think it's done. Fabulous. Literally minimal effort. I.e. playing video games until the laundry was done. I'd tell him to kiss my whole ring piece, to be honest. I refused. I told him, oh, don't worry, your friends won't judge, and took the kids and myself out for a movie. I love that. He said I was being petty and that I should have at least made the kids help like they helped me. My mother says I should have helped, and I probably embarrassed him because he was not able to get things clean enough on his own. I think he's a grown-ass man and he should figure it out. Am I the butthole? No, what's good for the goose is good for the gander at the end of the day. If he thinks that it's all of a sudden clean enough when your family and your friends are coming over and he won't help, well, then when his family or his friends are coming over, why should everyone else help him? It's the same thing. And he's taking the absolute piss saying that, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait to switch out the laundry. Absolutely not. What, like, washing laundry is not a spectator's sport. Well, actually, you could argue with my youngest child about that, but, you know, most of the time it's not a spectator's sport. Oh, and the cats, they love to watch it just whirring around as well. Endless entertainment for them. So, down in the comments, Storm in a Teacup says, waiting to switch the laundry is a new chore I haven't heard of. What a clever husband to be able to multitask while doing such an important job. Not the butthole. And then Cat Friend 18 says, my husband was telling me he saw a joke about women doing their stereotypical household chores the way men grill. And this is so funny because a friend literally sent me a video of this exact thing the other day. And I know what they're going to say without even needing to read ahead. It was a woman basically saying, doing the laundry like a man grilling. and she was sat in front of the laundry just every now and then looking into the washing machine to see what was going on and drinking a beer and telling the kids to go ask dad for help. Like 4 women standing around watching the washing machine and asking their husband to get them a beer. Honestly, I've never heard anything so laughable in my life of waiting to switch out the laundry. Unless you have to literally go to like a laundrette, I don't think you need to be watching it, mate. So, next post posted by Earth to Heaven. Am I the butthole for refusing to come home from college over breaks? Okay, so basically, I'm an incoming freshman in college and I've been preparing to move out soon. And I had my mum come in my room the other day to help me put some stuff in boxes. She started to talk about her plans to turn my room into a fitness room. And I was like, okay, cool. You're just going to stick like a treadmill in here or what? Because my room's pretty big. There's like space for it. She tells me no, she's actually selling all my furniture and completely redoing my room. So obviously I'm like, where am I supposed to stay when I come home for breaks? And she says, oh, don't worry, you can sleep on the couch in the office. My school breaks are very long and I would not enjoy sleeping on the sofa in my dad's office for a month. So I told her, if that's the case, I would use my breaks to visit friends at other schools or travel or just to stay on campus. And she got so mad. I felt a little bad and I was like, okay, maybe I'd stay for a few days for like big holidays, but that's it. But she says I'm being extreme and taking my anger towards her out on my family. I feel like it's fair to not want to come home every break when I won't even have a room to come back to. Am I the butthole? No! Oh my god. I would not want to come back to somewhere and then have to spend like weeks sleeping on a sofa in someone's office. No, like, I'd need my own space. I'd need a place to get away from people. Absolutely not. And if I have that place to have that my own space on campus, why on earth would you go home? You just wouldn't, would you? Like, how is she not seeing how that's really insulting? You know, fair enough, it's her house and free to do what she wants with, but she's got to understand that if she takes away OP's bedroom, then the OP is also free to turn around and say, well, I'm not coming home on breaks then, for extended periods. Simple as that. Edit, sorry, I should have clarified. She is not kicking me out or selling my bed and stuff while I'm here, but once I've moved out and am in college, she's planning to redo it all. She really likes to work out, so I totally get why she would want to move from the living room into an actual room. I would just love that room to also have a bed, I guess. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, no, definitely. I find it hilarious that she's like, what? You don't want to come home and sleep on your dad's office sofa? No, to be honest. I do not fancy waking up at the ass crack of dawn to a man coming in with his coffee, scratching his butt, wanting to do his work, and not only that, but I have a cricked neck because I've been on a sofa for weeks. Funny that, you know, strange how I wouldn't want to do that, isn't it? So, down in the comments, Calico Hippo says, not the butthole. My mother tried to do something similar when I went off to college. My dad stopped her, but after my sophomore year, I stopped coming home because she was resentful. I was preventing her from having her workout / craft / dumping room. I got a job on campus first, then off, and subletted apartments rooms until winter and summer breaks. I also visited my grandparents a lot, which embarrassed my mother because they were her parents, and I was making her look bad. Oh, that drives me insane when people do things that make them look bad and then say, you're making me look bad. No, my friend. You are making yourself look bad. I told her she was getting what she wanted, me not at home, so why was she angry? And then Beth21286 says, they want to be selfish, but have none of the consequences of being selfish. Boo-hoo. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, it's their house, it's their choice what they do with it, but then also they have to put up with the fact that you might not want to come home if that's what they did to it. I just can't fathom sitting there and thinking that, you know, she's just going to be totally fine, not having any space, not having any privacy, you know, a college-age woman not being able to have any privacy. Yeah, sounds about right. That sounds great. Like, what? Okay, then next post posted by Go for Twia? Maybe? I have no idea. Am I the butthole for telling my adult son I need a little privacy? I'm an older, retired, divorced man. My kids are all adults. 2 years ago, I allowed my son, now 25, to move back in with me in my 2-bedroom, 1,000 square foot apartment. His mental health has been slowly going downhill, I believe. He has been diagnosed with anxiety and depression, but refuses to get any kind of treatment for it. He now has no job, few friends, and spends most of his time bed rotting in his room. He only leaves to occasionally go to the movies, comic book stores, or his mother's house for dinner. Where is he getting the money for movies and comic books? If that's off you, OP, like, you may be making a tad bit of a rod for your own back, my love. I don't charge him rent, and I actually give him spending money every month. Why? Why? Come on now. Let's have a little common sense for once. Mostly so that he is able to get out of the apartment and do something once in a while. I have not been on a date for 6 years. Several weeks ago, a woman I dated in the past reached out to me. We reconnected, we've been talking for weeks, wanting to get together, but we are both busy people. She lives almost 2 hours away, and so it's been very difficult for us to actually go on a date. This Saturday, however, she is coming to my place after work. We may go out to a bar or a restaurant, or we may just decide to stay home. Oh, Netflix and chill, is it, OP? I see ya, you little dog, you. She will most likely be spending the night and maybe here all weekend. OP, naughty. I told my son about this date a week and a half ago when I made it. I was hoping he would volunteer to get out of the apartment for the night. He didn't. I hinted to him that it might be awkward for him to be here while I'm on a date. Essentially, hey son, you may not want to listen to me clapping cheeks, perhaps vacate the premises for a little bit, why don't you? His answer was that he would just stay in his room the whole time she's here. I even considered getting him a hotel room to stay in for the night, as my friend is really excited about coming back to my apartment and would rather be here than in a hotel. But a hotel room on the weekend at short notice was going to be super expensive. I just couldn't do it. The situation has stressed me beyond measure. Finally, today, I sat him down and told him that I need him to let me have the apartment Saturday night, that he needs to spend the night at his mother's or a friend's or wherever he can. It turned into as close to an argument as we ever get. I repeated my observation about how awkward it would be for him to be here. He replied that when he lived on his own with roommates, they all had guests who spent the nights in their rooms whilst everyone else went about their business. I told him that was a very different dynamic than a small partner shared by a father and son. Yeah, how is he not getting the hint that dad wants to get his end away and doesn't want to feel like he's being listened to by his own kid? He finally agreed that he would find somewhere to go, but he is extremely angry and feels that I am being unfair expecting him to leave for a night. Am I the butthole for insisting that he leaves? I don't think so. You know, at the end of the day, like, anxiety, depression, they are very difficult things to deal with, and I'm not going to downplay that. I know firsthand how incredibly obstructive to normal life an anxiety disorder can be. However, he's 25. He's refusing to get help. So he knows there's a problem, but he won't get help for it. And there has to come a point with things like that where it's like, I understand you're struggling, but you do need to take some responsibility for yourself at the same time, because you are an adult and I have my life now and I can't be subsidizing your life too, you know? So as much as I know that the OP wants to feel like they're helping their son by letting them move back in, by giving them money and whatever, there's got to be a breaking point where the son just goes, okay, yeah, I'm an adult and I need to at least pull my shit together just enough. Okay, then, so down in the comments, Black Girl Magic says he needs to be in therapy, on meds, in school, at work, or some combination of the aforementioned. You're doing him a disservice currently. I would agree there, to be honest. Giving him money so he can get out of the house, but you know that he's not really spending that to get out of the house to do anything to help himself. He's just spending it on comics and then going to watch a film now and then. It's not helping him. It's enabling him to continue on the path that he's on at the moment. So yeah, there has to be a point where the OP's just got to go, no more. Not the butthole for wanting to get freaky without your kid listening in, though. Exactly. And then Glyphhaven1 says, it's understandable to support your child through a rough patch, but after 2 years with no treatment, job, or plan, something has to change. It does. It really does. I totally agree. Okay then, so last post of the day, Boost5C says, am I the butthole for being rough with my mum when she tried to hit my son? This is my main, since I tried to post this on a burner account because some cousins of mine have read it, but the auto mod wouldn't let me, so I'm risking it and posting here on my main. I, 28M, have a 5 male son with my wife, 29F. Earlier, when I was at my mum's house visiting, while a couple of other family members were there, my son made a mistake and broke a vase of hers when he tripped over while playing with a cousin of his, my nephew, and my mum got angry and got out a belt to whoop him, since that was one of her antique ones. Yeah, well, more for you for keeping your antique friggin' vases out when you know your grandkids are coming over. Like, what? I saw what was about to go down and ran over to grab the belt from her, since honestly, I don't condone hitting children to discipline or punish them. Yeah, and it sounds like it was a genuine mistake. They just tripped over, and accidents like that do happen. It's annoying, yeah, no one wants their stuff to get broken, but with kids in a house, accidents happen. I grew up in a household where whoopings and spankings was normal. You saw your siblings getting whooped, your cousins, or random person's kid they was watching. What? They would hit just a random person's kid? Oh, they're lucky they didn't get belted themselves by some parents. And because of that, I don't condone that for any child, because I just believe it's wrong to hit kids as punishment. But anyway, when I grabbed the belt, my mum told me to let go so she can teach him some manners, and told her no. Some of the other family members told me to just let it go, but I told them to stay out of this. I told her if she's gonna whoop my kid, she's gonna have to deal with me. And while I don't want to necessarily be aggressive like that with my own mum, I will go down to it when it comes to my kid. I left after a whole bunch of back and forth between me, her, and other relatives, and I told my wife about the whole thing, and she fully backs me up on that. But what I'm worried about is if I'm a butthole for grabbing the belt too hard and shoving my mum a bit away, since that is my mum, and I'm a pretty large guy compared to her. Well, she's a pretty large woman compared to a 5-year-old, so I've said it before today and I'll say it again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. She's 5'2" and I'm 6'3", so I'm wondering if I'm the butthole for being rough with her. Mate, she was about to take a belt to your kid. I think you're good, my love. You're cool. Honestly, though, it says a lot about the way that having parents that just, like, smack you for every slight inconvenience warps your sense of what is okay and what is not okay. Because for the OP to be questioning this, just shows much that was happening in their childhood, doesn't it? So, down in the comments, AbelBath2944 says, not the butthole. Preventing child abuse is reasonable. And then the OP says, yeah, I pretty much thought so. Never really got the idea of hitting children to discipline them when there was so much better ways to do so with a child. So Calixant hippie? I don't know. Anyone who attempts to physically abuse my child will not only have to deal with me, but also lose all access to my child forever. No one, and I mean no one, physically abuses any child in front of me without my intervention. This is not a difference in parental ideology. This is the difference between a child with or without trauma. Yeah, it's crazy to want to smack a 5-year-old with a belt because they tripped and accidentally knocked a vase over. It's not even like they did it on purpose. Even then, cracking out a belt is way out the line. Like, there are far more effective punishments than resorting to physical punishment, isn't there? My goodness. But yeah, I think you're good, OP, honestly. I think you're all good. Okay then, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. The ulcer on my tongue is now finally starting to heal. Woohoo! After I bit it. I've got some new mouth guards now. And do you know what? I picked them up today. They're ridiculous, the case they come in. So I picked up these mouth guards. They're like proper, like, molded to my bottom teeth style mouth guards, and they look like rugby players' gum shields. They're that thick because I will chew straight through them in my sleep. That's how hard I bite down in my sleep. So I have to get these proper mouth guards made, and I went to pick up 3 more today. She's gone with a new lab this time to try and get some tougher ones, and the box they come in, it's like a little mirrored compact. I just thought, who wants to see that first thing? I don't want to see myself first thing in the morning. Like, I could have done without the mirror, to be honest. I think they were doing a bit too much there. But yeah, I've got my mouth guards. Yay! Cost a bloody arm and a leg, but still. Anyway, I'm rambling. Why am I rambling? I do this a lot, you know. Yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Governor Void. Welcome. Don't forget to press hype button if you can. That would be much appreciated. And also tell Big Al how much he sucks. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.